Right, this coming weekend, we're back with another UFC Fight Night. This one is headlined by Josh Emmett taking on Kevin Vallejos. Now, it's not the most stacked card. It hasn't got all the big name value, but there should be some cracking fights. So this is my main card predictions. Now, we're kicking off the main card with the big boys. We've got Vitor Petrino taking on Stephen Aspland. Stephen Aspland, 1-0 in the UFC. Also got a finish on Dana White's Contender Series, whilst Vitor Petrino has been in the UFC since 2023. Well, he had a cancelled fight in 2022, and he's done it all. He's had knockouts, submissions, decisions, and he's been on the other end of them too. So should be a real test for the newcomer in Stephen Aspland. But I'm going with the big man, Stephen. He's been on a weight loss journey. He's fought into the UFC. He's got himself here. And I think he's going to continue his rise. I'm going with a finish by Stephen Aspland in this fight. Now with the featherweights, we've got a debut from Marwan Rahiki taking on Harry Hardwick, who's coming in for the second time, trying to get his first UFC victory. Last time out, he got stopped by some vicious leg kicks from Fernandez. But yeah, how do we see this one playing out? You got Rahiki, who, I'll be honest, I don't know much about him, but I saw he made his amateur debut back in 2023, and then since going pro, he's gone 7-0, and obviously Harry Hardwick, 18 pro bouts in his record. He's got all the experience coming from Cage Warriors and that one walk that he's made to the UFC octagon. I'm going to back the Englishman in Harry Hardwick. I think that experience might serve him well in this fight, and I'm going to go with a decision victory for Harry Hardwick. We're staying in the featherweight division. This time it's Andre Touchy taking on Jose Delgado. Now, Delgado came into the UFC with two first round finishes until he came up short last time out with a decision loss to Nathaniel Wood, but it was a close matchup. And Touchy, he's been in the UFC for quite some time, and we know he's slick with a stand-up, so this should be an all-out striking affair. How do we see it playing out? It's a tricky one to call. We know Delgado can crack and Touchy's slick on the feet, but I just think that experience from Andre Touchy may be able to serve him well in this matchup and navigate his way around the octagon and maybe cruise too. Not really cruise, it's going to be a tough night, but I think he'll get the decision victory in this matchup. Now to the light heavyweights, we've got Ion Cutelaba taking on Umar Sy. Now, Sy typically, he wants to get the fight to the mat. He wants to look for submissions. It's where he feels the most comfortable, whilst Ion Cutelaba, he's very well rounded, he's very well skilled, and I think he'll have the ability to nullify the wrestling attempts to get it to the ground and keep it in the standing striking aspect of the game. And I think if that's the case, sometimes Cutelaba can get a bit reckless. He couldn't throw caution to the wind, but sometimes you also do see him kind of go into a bit of a shell, kind of pop shot a little bit, and I think it could end up being that way. Both guys not wanting to take too many risks, and I think the sort of ranginess of Umar Sy is going to serve him well in that aspect, and I think he's going to be able to sort of cruise, pop shot his way to a decision victory. And now with the co-main event, you got Amanda Lemos taking on Gillian Robertson. Amanda Lemos, very well rounded in all aspects of the game, but she for the most part likes to come forward and let her hands go. She hits hard for a strawweight, whilst Gillian Robertson, we know her path to victory. She wants to get you to the mat and look to find a submission. And it's a question of whether she can do so, and if she can, I'd favour her to get the victory. Also, Lemos, 38 years of age for a strawweight. She's getting on a bit, whilst Gillian Robertson, she's been in the UFC for many years, but she's still just 30 years of age, so she's in her prime. So I'm going to favour Gillian Robertson in this matchup. If she can't get it to the ground, she's probably going to be in trouble, but I think she will be able to do so. So I'm going with Gillian Robertson to find a submission in this fight. And now we're in the main event. We've got Josh Emmett taking on Kevin Vallejos. This could be one of them fights where it's whoever lands the big bomb first, because both men hit hard. Josh Emmett, potentially the hardest hitting 45er in the division, whilst Kevin Vallejos has had 3 fights in the UFC and he's got 2 knockout finishes on his record. He's only got 1 loss on his pro MMA record, and he's got youth on his side. He's 24 years of age. He's maybe a bit naive. Is he going to step into the fight with Josh Emmett? He could potentially get laid out, but Josh Emmett, 41 years of age. Is he on the decline? Probably so. Let's be honest, 41 years of age in MMA, in the featherweight division. I'm going to favour the youth, the athleticism, the agility, the speed of Kevin Vallejos to be able to get in and out, land his strikes, get back out of there and potentially find a finish against Josh Emmett, or maybe just pop shot and play it safe, because it's a dangerous game going bomb for bomb with Josh Emmett, let's be honest. But I'm backing Kevin Vallejos to continue his rise in the featherweight division and get a victory in this fight. Let me know your thoughts on all these fights, how you see them playing out, who you see getting the win. Make sure you're following the page. Enjoy the fights. Peace.